Hello, I'm Rob Slater. Welcome back to the Clearwater Safety channel, where we aim to bring you practical solutions to your real world safety problems. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss new videos as they're released. Also, make sure you check out the links to any companies we work with. I saw this sign today. It suggests that you must have PPE to be safe. Wrong. Personal protective equipment, or PPE, is supposed to be the last line of protection, not the first or even the only. The PPE regulations of 1992, as amended, clearly state PPE should be regarded as the last resort to protect against risks to health and safety. So engineering controls or safe systems of work should be considered first. In other words, you as the employer, the business owner or the builder, whatever, are supposed to remove the hazard or exposure to it before you allow workers into the area. Check out the hierarchy of controls from the HSE. You can clearly see that at the very top is elimination, with PPE being way down at the bottom. Unfortunately, this sign, and many others like it, would seem to suggest that the opposite. PPE is the first control. Many years ago I did a site inspection for my client, who was a subcontractor on a large warehouse project. The principal contractor there was the type that I really don't like. An overarching reliance on paperwork making workers safe. Now, we had to sit through a 2-hour induction giving information that no one needed. What the project is, who the client is, the planning supervisors, well, that'll tell you how old it was, and so much irrelevant stuff that had no bearing on our safety. Then we had to wear high-vis jackets and trousers, not a vest, had to be long sleeve, boots, obviously, hard hat, obviously, gloves and goggles. Then we had to leave the safety of the site compound to get to the actual site. To get there we had to cross what they call the haul road, which was used by all the site traffic. No crossing points or traffic control. We had to dodge in between the tippers, the dumpers, the artics, etc. Now, this was a busy site. It was a busy road. And it was midsummer with no rain, so all that traffic was throwing up lots and lots of dust. So spot the major hazards here. Pedestrians and moving traffic and dust. But we had had our induction and we were wearing our PPE, so therefore we were safe. Or not. But once inside this new build, we still had to wear all of this PPE, even though there were no more hazards there than in my office right now. So why does the HSE say that PPE is the last resort? Well, there are a number of reasons. One, PPE only protects the one person, the person wearing it, whereas controlling the risk at source can protect everyone in the workplace. Think of the previous example of the lack of traffic management. Secondly, PPE may restrict the wearer to some extent by limiting movement or visibility. There are several others, but these are the main ones. Now, PPE is not necessary. This is according to the regs, where the risk is insignificant. For example, most places there'll be some risk of people dropping objects on their feet, but it's only where the objects are heavy enough to injure the feet that the risk will warrant the provision of safety footwear. So if you're handling concrete blocks, then yes, obviously you want safety footwear, but not if you're laying a carpet or painting walls or ceilings. High-vis jackets. Now, high-vis is seen everywhere now, from driving a bus to school kids on a day out. High-vis clothing is there to make you visible to drivers of plant or moving vehicles. That's why traffic cops wear high-vis jackets. But Nick Knowles standing in a DIY rescue kitchen with the kids playing underfoot? I don't think so. One of my pet hates is watching politicians on building sites or in factories wearing all of this PPE. Do they really think that they're going to allow the PM of the day to be exposed to any risks? There's no danger of them being close to a reversing lorry or under a falling scaffold, is there? Now, your PPE policy must be flexible enough to accommodate the needs of individuals and the working environment. This is where many employers get it very badly wrong and enforce the wearing of the wrong PPE in the wrong place at the wrong time. This may include somebody with an allergy to latex, or it could be a pre-existing medical condition. Or it could include wearing clothing in hot places. Making general PPE requirements for every worker may be unnecessary. For example, having in place a general requirement to wear overalls or headgear all the time may be inappropriate if there's no significant risk to be managed. And then of course there are times when wearing PPE can actually increase the risk to the worker. Think of hot weather or where it's impractical for the individual for the task being carried out. Shorts are banned on many building sites, allegedly for health and safety reasons. Back in the day I was a plasterer. Now, plastering walls and ceiling is hot work. My normal attire when troweling up, even in winter, was shorts and t-shirts, but of course that is no longer safe. Now don't get me wrong, I am not against PPE. In the right place it can be a lifesaver. In the right place, at the right time. But in my humble opinion, all too often it's no more than a uniform, ticking a box on a site manager's checklist. This picture has been on the web for years and years. I have no idea of the context, but the imagery of the guy wearing shorts and t-shirt next to the workers who look like they've just come out of Chernobyl always makes me smile. Either there is a need for the PPE or there isn't. Let me know in the comments what you think the hazards could be. So, if you recognise any of the issues we've talked about, give us a call for a no obligation chat. Otherwise, thanks for watching, keep wearing that PPE, and I'll see you on the next one.